So let's move on to number 8, and that is have a contingency plan. Now, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, and we've all heard that adage. Now, this plan can be for anything within your business. It could be if the market shifts, what are you going to do? In the sense of if rents dive, how are you going to pay your bills? If a massive disaster hits your area, like when we had the tornado come through, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Or if houses start getting more expensive and money becomes more expensive, how are you going to make your monthly nut? I mean, there's a bunch of things that can shift, whether in the economy or the environment or in your personal life. There's a lot of things that could shift. Have a plan. It doesn't have to be detailed. It doesn't have to be all written out, but have an idea of how you're going to shift.
Yeah, I think in some ways having a plan B is not the answer, because then you're going to just plan for plan A to fail and revert to plan B. But it could be through the form of reserves or just a backup plan or something in place so that if it all goes to hell, what are you going to do? So you don't lose your shirt. And a lot of times I think that is reserves. For us, like buying properties that we rented by the room, we always went into it with the plan that if it didn't work rent by the room, we could still rent it as a traditional rental and at least cover the note and the taxes and insurance and repairs. Like bare minimum, it would cash flow neutral. Bare minimum. We violated that rule though with our most recent acquisition. We found one and we thought it was a great rent by the room opportunity, and it bit us in the butt. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because I know that's been your pet project.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I mean, honestly, it's just we saw a deal come up and it made sense to rent it by the room. It's a great location and all of that. And then I just, I failed in the sense of I didn't do as much due diligence as I should have done. I didn't go into it with a finer tooth comb. And when we started doing the renovation, we just uncovered so much that we ended up having to get a permit. And that really shifted the whole scope of it. We now have to do a lot more than I intended to do. Just because when you open up something and it's bad, you need to fix it. And because we try to be above board with everything we do. And so when I open up a wall or the contractor opens up a wall and we see, oh gosh, we got termites in the bottom of the house here. Oh gosh, we have, pipes leaking under the house. Oh God, we got this. And there are things that with enough amount of due diligence and, a finer tooth comb, you can see these things, you can figure these things out. But, when you're taking that massive imperfect action, sometimes, you're met with a challenge. So with this challenge we were presented with, we just decided that we're gonna turn it over and we're gonna flip it. So we're gonna put a little bit more money into it. We're gonna sell it back on the market.
Yeah,
so
that goes into our last point, which is just be quick to act. We took a deal. It didn't work the way we intended. So it was within a week that we were looking at it and we're like, yeah, I don't know that it goes back to the gut. We were both like, what's your gut say? And my gut was saying we need to flip it and just get rid of it. Even if we have to write a check at closing, it's just not a house that we want to keep as a rental. And I asked you, I think 10 times probably, because I just wanted to make sure you were in the same spot of what's your gut say?
And that takes us back like many episodes ago of if it's not a heck yes, then it's automatically a heck no.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think we'll wind up making some money off of it. If we don't, then we call it a lesson. La Calle the Streets University. We learned a lesson. And at the end of the day, that one deal is not going to make us or break us. And it is what it is. We learned a lesson. And I think that's something people need to realize is things don't happen to us. They happen for us. And I think this is happening for us to teach us a lesson. And I think we got the lesson. So we're ready to remedy the situation and move on. And, there's so much of emotional energy that goes into some houses. And I have a friend who's working on a property and it's not going well. And I keep telling her, just sell it. Like, just walk away. And I think she's closed on it by now, but there's so much emotional energy that can go into things. And sometimes it's better to just let that energy go and walk away from that property than holding on to it with the hope that it will turn around. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a Titanic analogy in my brain right now, but I don't know how it's connecting. So like, don't run into the iceberg. Just turn the. I don't know. I don't know what I got, but
Well, that's where you need spotters in your life that hold you accountable. That spotter on the Titanic didn't do his job. He was asleep or he wasn't looking and he didn't detect that iceberg. And so the Titanic smashed right into it.
Was that what happened?
So yeah, so if you had a good spotter in your life that's like looking out for you, or someone that is essentially in your life to help guide you in some way, spiritually or, emotionally, or maybe business wise, they're going to help you to point out, hey, this is looking like XYZ. You should probably turn your boat a little bit before you hit that iceberg.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we can help be a spotter for you, send us a DM on Purpose Investor on Facebook and Instagram. We'd love to connect and see if we can help you be that spotter. I mean, because it's hard in this industry, especially because the market is turning. So we don't know where things are going, and it's hard to see where the ship is going. Is there an iceberg ahead, or is there smooth sailing? I mean, it depends on who you ask. I think there's definitely something coming in the market, but also downturns in the market means opportunity. So how can we take advantage of what's coming? So we'd love to help. So send us a DM. I think all of our socials linked in the show notes. So we'd love to help out and really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us.